Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's up, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. In the last episode, we covered a Mega Evolution, Mega Venusaur, and looked at sets for it and everything like that. And at the end of the episode, I asked you guys to vote on a Pokemon for this week. The choice was between Omastar and Kabutops, being the two fossil Pokemon from the Kanto region, and overall you guys voted for Kabutops. So Lord Helix didn't win. I don't know if it was because people are fed up with hearing about Lord Helix nowadays, but Kabutops won in the end, so that's who we're covering this week. In next week's episode, we're going to carry on the fossil theme going for a bit longer, so please choose between Cradley and Armaldo for next week's episode. Comment down below which one you want to see now, and obviously the one that wins I'll be covering next week. But for now, let's move on to covering Kabutops. So, Kabutops is a rock water type. It's the shellfish Pokemon, so certainly don't expect to get any food from that, and it's number 141 in the National Pokédex. It stands at 4 foot 3 inches tall, or 1.3 meters tall, and weighs 89.3 pounds, or 40.5 kilograms. It's in the egg-wise in the water-free egg groups, and is a male 87.5% of the time, so it's more likely to be a male than a female, as that would obviously suggest. Evolution chain-wise, Kabuto evolved into Kabutops starting at level 40, so it's actually fairly high level evolving. Base stat wise, you can see Kabutops has 60 in health points, 115 in attack, 105 in defense, 65 in special attack. Special defense is 70 and speed is 80. So as you can see, it has very high attack stat, a pretty high defense stat as well, whereas its special attack, special defense and health points are lacking. Speed is mediocre, but it's nothing really to shout about. So obviously Kabutops is mainly a physical attacker. We're not looking at any special sets for it because as you can see, its physical attack is almost twice its special attack, so there's really no point at all. So, if we first look at Kabutops' typing, it's as I said, a rock water type, so it's weak to resists first off 5 types, being normal, fire, flying, poison and ice, and is weak to 4 types, being grass, fighting, ground and electric. Bear in mind, grass is 4 times effective. And then it takes neutral from all the rest of the other types, so on average it doesn't have that bad a typing, since it resists more than it's weak to. However, that 4 times weakness to grass is going to be pretty hefty, especially when you consider its special defense is pretty low, so a Mega Drain or a Giga Drain is going to do. It's probably just going to take you out from whatever Pokemon, so you really that's a bit of a loss there. Plus, as we sort of saw, its special defense is pretty low, so even though it does resist 5 types, its special defense is low, so it's not going to take too many hits anyway. Then, if we look at Kabutops' abilities, first up we have a Swift Swim, which boosts the Pokemon's speed stat in Rain, actually doubles it, which is pretty effective for a a Rain team. How did I get those two mixed up? I don't know. Anyway, so it's pretty effective for a Rain team. Obviously if you're running a Rain team, Swift Swim is going to make Kabutops a very viable sweeper. Then, the second normal ability is Battle Armor, which protects the Pokemon from critical hits. This is half decent, but bear in mind guys, critical hits are a chance thing, they're all about luck. You could have a battle with no critical hits at all, or you can have a battle with a critical hit every single turn. Really, it's not going to be consistent how much this helps you, because just an average, it's just not going to be consistent guys, because critical hits aren't consistent, so it might help you one game, it might not help you the next game. So whereas if you're running Swift Swim on a Rain team, then it's going to help you pretty much every game. Hidden ability for Kabutops is Weak Armor, which when hit by a physical attack lowers its defense and raises its speed. Now Kabutops' physical defense is pretty high anyway, so if it's hit with a physical attack that it resists, for example, say fire, say Flare Blitz, it should be able to take that. Its defense is going to drop and its speed is going to rise. If you combine a speed rise with the Swift Swim, then it's going to be very, very powerful indeed. So Weak Armor can be used in some respect in different situations, of course. Then we have highlighted moves, or notable moves, not really highlighted. I'm not using all these moves in today's set, these are just other moves you might want to think about putting on sets for Kabutops. Starting off, we have level 31 learns Aqua Jet, so on top of the Swift Swim and the Speed Rise from Weak Armor, it can have Aqua Jet, which is a priority water type move, gets a nice clean stab from it. Then next up we have level 72 Night Slash, powerful dark type move. It's going to have a high critical hit ratio, which is pretty darn decent. Then TM71, a powerful stab hit in Stone Edge, which is Stone Edge, as we know, Stone Edge is really powerful. It is prone to missing though, so there is another option coming up in a bit. Then we have TM75 Swords Dance. If you can manage to get a Swords Dance up, the Rain up, a Swords Dance Swift Swim Kabutops is going to do power to whatever, so watch out for that. And then the optional one for, instead of Stone Edge, you can have Rock Slide as TM80. Less power, but obviously it's got higher accuracy. Still not 100%, but it is higher. So if you guys want a bit more consistency, you can go for Rock Slide instead. Then we have TM81X Scissor, bug type move. Again, obviously it can learn it via TM. It could be helpful against, for example, dark types or psychic types or something, but as we said, special defense is low, so you don't really want to be facing off against a psychic type anyway. Then it learns one HM, or it can learn several, but the HM we're looking at is Waterfall. Powerful physical water type move. Waterfall is going to be your main stab, along with possibly Stone Edge. Or we have Aqua Jet, of course, to switch around. One egg move, which is Rapid Spin. So we have a Rapid Spinner in Kabutops, but it's not very bulky, so Rapid Spin maybe not the best choice for this Pokemon, but it's an option there. You could run an offensive Rapid Spinner just, in the times when you might want to use Rapid Spin just because you can, I guess. Two transfer moves also, both fighting type moves. First we have Low Kick, which could be helpful in some situations, but it depends what opponent you're up against. And then we also have Super Power, which again is pretty powerful, lowers your attack and defense though, so you have to watch out for that indeed. But those are the highlighted moves for Kabutops, so I guess we should get on to looking at the sets for Kabutops. We have two coming up. First one is a Swift Swim, and the second one is focusing on Weak Armor as the ability. So, first up we have, moveset is Swords Dance, Waterfall, Stone Edge, and an Aqua Jet or Rapid Spin. Ability is Swift Swim, Nature is Adamant, held item is a Life Orb, and the EVs are going maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in defense. So, first up we have Swords Dance. As I mentioned just now, if you can get Swords Dance up and the Rain, you're going to be very powerful indeed. You're going to be on +2, plus the Rain, which boosts your speed. So, obviously your Life Orb as well, this is going to do even more damage. And then obviously Waterfall is going to get Stab as well. So as I said, Waterfall in the Rain is going to get a very nice boost up in the Rain. The Rain's going to boost it up, Life Orb's going to boost it up, and then you're also going to get Stab from it, which will also boost it up. So it's very nice indeed. Stone Edge is your other stab there, obviously not as effective as Waterfall if you've got the Rain up, but without the Rain it is going to be more effective, because obviously stab is the same power, but Stone Edge has a higher base power anyway. Final move looking at here, we have Aqua Jet or Rapid Spin. Aqua Jet could be helpful if the Rain is not up, or if you're against a particularly fast opponent anyway, so one that might outspeed you even with the Rain up, which could come in helpful then. Or Rapid Spin is just, you could, if you don't need Aqua Jet, if you don't want Aqua Jet, you can run Rapid Spin just for those small occasions where you might want to use it just to get rid of the hazards and whatnot. Nature-wise, ability is given. Nature-wise, Adamant, because obviously Jolly isn't really needed with all our speed boosts with Swift Swim and everything like that, and Aqua Jet especially. Then we have Held Item, Life Orb. As I said, it's just going to power up the moves, which is going to make it even more potent. And EVs again, maximum attack and speed to boost up your physical attack and your speed to do much damage as fast as possible, and obviously rest in defense because defense is your higher defense. We don't really want to be putting it in special defense because if a special attack comes out, you don't want to be staying in with Kabutops anyway. But as long as you got the Rain up, so obviously a Politoed is a good partner for your Kabutops here. Drizzle is legal now in OU. I think in Generation 5 Drizzle with Swift Swim was banned, whereas this in Generation 6 Drizzle Swim is actually allowed because obviously Rain is no longer permanent. So obviously you send your Politoed in, you've got 5 turns then to do much damage as possible. So Kabutops could be good for a late game sweep actually, guys, if you can get the Rain up, and then just sort of come in. Swords Dance possibly if you can force a switch, and then just go for the Waterfall, Stone Edge, or obviously if you can't force a switch and they're already down to low health, you could do that. Aqua Jet is also possible just to pick off some other priority users. There might be like Bullet Punch or something like that might get in your way, especially obviously you have Swift Swim anyway, but just in case, guys. So that's pretty much the Swift Swim set. Let's move on to the second and last set for Kabutops, which is focusing on Weak Armor. Very interesting set indeed. Moveset here is Endure, Swords Dance, Stone Edge, and Aqua Jet. Ability is Weak Armor, as I said. Nature is Adamant, and the held item is a Weakness policy. EVs are maximum attack and speed, and the rest in defense. Okay, so let's start off looking at the moves. Endure is going to leave you with 1 health point. So the idea here is to either switch in on an opponent which you know is going to do damage to you and pretty much just take you out in one hit. So for example, it might be good for a very late game sweep actually, this guys. If your Kabutops is the last surviving member of the team, sort of thing. So you send out, say it's a Breloom. Say you send it out. Breloom might be go for just seed bomb sort of thing, just to go and take you out in one. Use Endure the first turn. It's going to activate Weak Armor because the physical attack. It's going to lower defense but boost your speed, and because it's a super effective move, it's going to also boost your special attack and your attack by 2 stages as well. So that's very nice there. The other idea is if you maybe switch in on something you can force a switch on, say you send your Kabutops in against a Charizard, that's obviously going to be 4 times weak to a Stone Edge, or 2 times weak to any water type move, they are going to most likely want to switch out. You can then get Swords Dance up on this first turn, so you're already at +2. Then they might send in someone who's going to be able to take you out in 1 turn. You can go for the Endure to survive over 1 hit. Weak Armor is then going to activate, lower your defense, boost your speed, so your speed is up by 1 stage. Then your Weakness Policy activates, boosts your attack and special attack by 2 more stages, so your attack is now at +4. So you're at +4 attack, +1 speed. Now you can see the other moves here we have Swords Dance, as mentioned, just that there, I don't need much else to say really. Stone Edge is secondary stab to Aqua Jet, more powerful, so say a bulky Pokemon comes at you fast, then you want to go for the Stone Edge, whereas we have Aqua Jet last up, which is going to allow you to outspeed sort of the enemy Pokemon. Especially if they're on low health, Aqua Jet is certainly very helpful there. Nature is adamant because Aqua Jet is sort of going to be your main move here, because you're just be looking to go fast. Obviously we have the 1 speed boost from Weak Armor, which could come in helpful. You could try running this in a Swift Swim as well, guys, so have the ability to Swift Swim instead. And then Swords Dance, Endure down to 1 health point, Weakness Policy is going to activate, +2, if you get Swords Dance at +4, and your speed is going to be doubled rather than just raised by 1 stage, so that could be another option there. Anyway, Nature is adamant because we have Aqua Jet pretty much. Held Item Weakness Policy, as I don't need to explain that, guys, it's the Weakness Policy, that's why we're using it to boost our attack. EVs again, maximum attack and speed to boost them up as high as we can, and the rest in defense because that's our higher defense there. And obviously we want it to be, well, we got Endure to survive it anyway, but if you don't use Endure, if you try and survive a move that's maybe not going to kill you, it's still going to help out, I guess, in that sense. Maybe they don't switch out when you expect them to and just go for a physical attack and try and do as much power as you can, sort of thing. You'd have to see them. You'd have to try it all out, guys. Anyway guys, that pretty much sums it up for Kabutops for today. As I mentioned at the start of the video, please vote for next week's episode, either Cradley or Armado. Tell me down in the comment section below which one you want to see, and the one with the most votes I'll be covering next week. So guys, I thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like down below on the video, check out all the other content on Lumiose we have, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye my friends.